I don't think the generations have been so much apart like they are now. Just like the country is so apart, you know, there's so much division in the country, and you know, it's never been that way before in a long, long time. All right, it's Monday. Welcome to the Chazz Palminteri Show. You know, every Monday we have a new show at 11 o'clock. I'm fired up today. I got my Bronx shirt on. The Bronx! What's the matter? Why does the Bronx get a bad rap, John? Why is that? I always wonder about
Used to be a bad neighborhood from what I hear.
Oh, well, yeah, but every neighborhood used to be a bad neighborhood. Come on, the Bronx is, every time somebody thinks of the Bronx, they think of Fort Apache. And that was a long time ago. The Bronx is still nice.
I feel like it's the forgotten borough.
It's the forgotten borough. I grew up there. I love it there. I go back there to go shopping. I go to all the great stores, Jerome's Pastry, Casa Mozzarella, Mike's Deli, Roberto's, Trattanova, Enzo's, all the great places there. I just love going there and love shopping there. It's,
Borgatti's.
Bogatti's. Let's not forget Bogatti's raviolis, the Title Brothers. Oh God, great food. Anyway, I got when I got a Bronx shirt on, I steered off. I want you to come and see my one-man show, folks. Actually, it's a film now. It's going to be coming out soon. I'm looking forward for you to see it. If you want to see the one-man show, go to chazzpalminteri.net. John, tell the folks where I'm going to be.
September 14th, you're going to be in Munn Hall, Pennsylvania at the Carnegie Homestead Music Hall. September 25th, you're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee at the Schermerhorn Theater. September 27th, you're going to be in New Buffalo, Michigan at the Silver Creek Four Winds Casino. And September 28th, you're going to be in Detroit, Michigan at the Fisher Theater. Those
are my September dates. I have dates in October, November, December. But I'll give you September. I always take July and August off. You know, it's time to. I love taking the summer off, go to the beach house and relax, or relax here. You know, but where was I? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in a very relaxed mood today. Also, don't forget my restaurants: 30 West 46th Street and 264 Main Street. I mean, I never say I have the best Italian restaurant in New York, because there's a lot of great Italian restaurants in New York. But I do say I have maybe in the top 3 or 5. My restaurant, Chazz Palminteri's, it's romantic, it's great food, great service, and you'll have a great time. And you never know. I pop in there a lot. I go to the one in Manhattan, I go to the one in White Plains. And it's really, I enjoy seeing everybody. The sauce is great, the food is great, the service is great. It's my name on it. It's got to be good, right, folks? Don't forget my cigars. It's lcgcigar.com, La Casa Grande. The famous, the great, what would you call him, cigar maker, Paul DeSilvio. He mixes all these blends and comes up with an incredible cigar. And let me tell you something. You want a great cigar? Check it out. We have the Bronx Tail cigar, we got the Colosio, and we got the regular classic. Also, my wine, Chazz Palminteri Cabernet Sauvignon, and great wine. I mean, folks, I'm Italian. It's got to be great. If it ain't good, I don't put my name on it. I don't need the money, but what I love to do is create things. I love to have successful things. And both of these projects are really great, so I appreciate that. So, John, we have a kind of strange, no guest today, but we're gonna rap a little bit about all these people that have been asking questions.
We got a ton of comments and responses to the post that we put out yesterday, so we're going to see how it goes.
Okay.
So the first one I got, I mean, some of them are good, some of them are bad. I'll try to feed you some of the better ones. The first one that I have is this person wants you to talk about how my generation, Gen Z, is basically lost.
Wow. And he's probably Gen Z.
Well, that's what he said. My generation,
He said my
Gen Z
generation,
is lost.
But he's smart enough to know they're probably lost. Well, you know what? I don't know if it's lost, but it's not as up on it as the other generations were. And why is that? I don't know. There's a lot of things you could say. Look, you know how I am, folks. I'm very right down the middle. I criticize the Republicans. I criticize the Democrats. I'm an independent guy. I just believe that. I think a lot of it has to do with the internet. A lot of these kids, they don't really live. They're internet savvy. They're really smart when it comes to the internet. Boy, they can get around that internet really good. But they don't talk to each other. They don't meet each other. They don't experience things. Everything is texting. Nobody writes letters. Nobody talks anymore. And I don't understand this thing about triggered. What is this term? I'm sorry. Triggered. When I'm talking, somebody said, "Gee, don't say that, Chazz. That triggers me." And I'm like, what did I say that triggers you? I'm a little confused here. I didn't understand. I said to a person, I said, "Your brother is very talented. I saw her brother perform." She goes, "He's not my brother. He's a person." And I was confused. I said, I'm not up on all this pronoun stuff. So I said, "But it's your brother." She goes, "Well, he wants to be, his pronouns are, I think it was they and person or something.
Them, probably.
Them or something." So I guess I was supposed to say, "They are very talented." And I said, "He is very talented." Yes, that's what it was. And she said, "You know what? I got to be honest with you. Could you stop saying that?" And I said, but he is. He's very talented." She goes, and then she put a finger up. She goes, "You don't understand. That triggers me." And I said, "What?" "That triggers me." And then she explained it to me. Now, I'm one to respect people, and I just don't get that trigger stuff. I didn't say anything bad. I actually gave her brother an incredible compliment. And he was a very talented young man. I saw his act, singing. And she kind of made it, she kind of got me to the point where I was really, it was like I made a compliment and she made me feel bad that I gave it, I was like, damn, wow, So I think when that person's talking about a lost generation, again, I don't know. Look, maybe this time has just passed me by and I don't get it, and I'm sorry if I don't, but I think it matters what's in a person's heart. And what was in my heart was nothing but compliments and love for this young man. And I didn't think I deserved to be kind of like spoken to from this young person, kind of like condescending attitude and correcting me. I didn't know, So I think that's part of the frustration that my generation, well, I'm a boomer, obviously, that we have with the younger generation. And I don't think the generations have been so much apart like they are now. Just like the country is so apart, there's so much division in the country, and wow, it's never been that way before in a long, long time. And so I think I could say to the Gen Z person out there, I know what you're feeling. You're feeling lost, but I got to be honest with you, the country's a little lost. We're all trying to find ourselves and trying to not trigger each other, So I just hope that as you get older, and the boomers, we sound a little smarter as you get older, that maybe you'll realize, maybe the next generation after the Gen Z, they'll have the same problem with them, I don't know. But let's not be sensitive. That's all I'm saying. If you have love in your heart, who cares about how it's wrapped? That's all I say. Okay.
So the next one we got, it says this person is getting out of a job that they're unhappy with and they want to know how to follow their dreams.
Well, the first thing they're doing is they're getting out of the job they're unhappy with. So that's following your dream. I mean, if you're married and you have children, you got to pay the rent. You got to plan getting out of your job. You just can't like quit and not have no money and then make a bad situation worse. You have to strategically plan. I'm going to work 6 more months at this job, save a lot of money, then try to find another one or look for a job while you're still having this one. At least try to be somewhat responsible. But if you really want to follow your dream, whatever that may be, I say follow it. What's the worst that could happen? You fail. Okay, but at least you're failing forward, not backwards. You're failing forward, and maybe you'll realize, all right, I did it wrong. I got to try again, but I got to do it better this time. Or maybe I didn't want that dream as much as I thought I did. But I think you got to try. Because one thing I can guarantee you is that if you don't try, it'll never happen. It's better you try and fail if you have to than not try at all. So follow your dream, whatever it is. And look at people that achieved your dream. Study them. If they're friends of yours, talk to them. If they wrote a book, read the book. Or just study their lives and see what they did to achieve their dream. And you get ideas from that. All right, John, what's the next question?
How do you deal with the fear of intimacy?
With the fear of intimacy?
How do you deal with a fear of intimacy? I guess he's afraid to talk to his lover, friend. I don't know.
Wait, no. I think the way you deal with it is you have to confront it and meet somebody you can talk to about it. I mean, it's very simple. I mean, it's when a person is afraid of dogs or snakes or heights. The first thing they do is they bring them to those things. They bring a snake in the room. They bring a dog in the room. And they have the dog all the way on the other side of the room. And they spend 15 minutes just talking to the guy with the dog there. Then they come back the next day and they say, look, nothing happened. He was fine. It's great. It's a therapy dog. They bring him a little closer, halfway across the room. They have another session. And then the next time the dog is right next to him. And then the next time he goes, no, pet him. He likes you. He knows you now. And after a while, your fear of dogs will stop. Intimacy is the same thing. The more you talk to someone about your intimacy, the more comfortable you'll become. It's just doing it. It's very simple. When you're afraid of something, you have to go towards it. You have to. Otherwise, it'll always be there. What's that old saying? I forgot who said it. The best way to fight the demons that chase you in the middle of the night is to stop and turn around. Once you stop and turn around, and you say, okay, what's up? What am I afraid of? So that's what would be my answer to that person about the intimacy, really.
Okay, this next person's asking, how do you maintain a work-life balance?
I think, but you do that by discipline, by a schedule. If every day you wake up and you don't know what the hell you're going to do, you're living by the seat of your pants. You gotta plan the day before. I go, okay, I know when I wake up at 7. Here's what I try to do every day. I wake up at 7. Okay, I have a big glass of water, a huge glass of water. This is what my perfect day is. I finish the water, I walk outside, I walk on my lawn, my grass, without no shoes on. I get no shoes and socks. And I do 30 breaths. I breathe in all the trees, the air, it's beautiful here. And I breathe all that in, I do that 3 times. There was a gentleman who said that, I forgot his name, Gary Leder or something. And I do that, and it really gets you out of it. It gets you in a good mood, right? Then I go in, I finish that. I go take a shower, and I do a nice, it's a pretty hot shower. Then I end it with a cold shower. I do the cold shower. I hate it. I can never get used to it, but I force myself to dig it, and I'll do it for 3 to 5 minutes. I'll shut it off. I go down to my spa, my gym. I do 15 minutes of the red light, the infrared light, this way and that way. I leave there. I go into my gym, and I do 10, 11 minutes of stretching, and then I work out with the weights. If it's a Monday, I do shoulders, chest, shoulders, and triceps. Tuesday, I do biceps, legs, and back. And Wednesday, then I box 12 rounds. And then Thursday, the same thing with the tricep. And then Friday, the same things with the other body parts. And then Saturday, box again for 12 rounds. Sunday, off, nothing. Now, I do that, so I'm finished. If everything goes great, 7, 8, 9, I'm finished by 9:30, 10, like that. Well, that takes a couple hours, right? Then I go into my office here, and I try to read or write whatever project I'm doing until lunchtime, and then I have lunch, and then I spend the rest of the day. I'll write for 3 hours, 4 hours, and then have lunch, and then either go back writing a little bit, or sometimes I just want to go outside, go by the pool, and just relax. Now that's my perfect day. Okay, that's called a disciplined, structured day. Now, do I do it every time? Sometimes things happen, you can't do it. But that's what I try to do all the time. And then at night, I go into my infrared sauna before I go to bed. And I eat healthy through the whole day, and I take my vitamins. So people say, how could you do the one person show at your age? That's how, folks. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to do it. You know, you got to take care of yourself. And I did an episode on this once. Do you imagine if somebody told you, okay, you're 18 years old, you could drive. I'm going to give you one car. I'm going to buy you a brand new Cadillac. At 18 years old, whatever the year was, brand new Cadillac. But this is the only car you're going to have the rest of your life. You can't have another car. That's it. This is it. How fucking good would you take care of that car? Shine it, clean it, put it in the garage, make sure the oil's changed. My God, you would make sure it's greased, everything. Well, that's your body, man. You only get one body. You get you don't get another shot. This is it. This is one body. Don't abuse it. Take good care of it. That's what you got to do to make it. In my opinion, you got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then it's a dream. If you got to have a goal is different than a dream. If you're just dreaming, then it's never going to happen. You got to have a plan and a goal.
All right. This person says, cover some advice on how to be a gentleman like you.
How to be a gentleman like me. Well, you know what? I got to give my father and my mother credit for that. I mean, they taught me how to be a gentleman. I think the best way to be a gentleman is be kind, be courteous, treat women special. I really mean that. I mean, treat women special. Some men objectify women, and I think that's wrong. When I was younger, did I do that? Maybe with my neighborhood friends, of course. I never want to claim I'm a saint, folks. And when I was younger, of course, I was into that mindset. Hey, that girl's gorgeous, But when you get older, you hope that you evolve a little bit. You read, you study life, and I think women are special. I love chivalry. I love to take care of women. I love it. I love women in general. Now, I say that. Some people say, oh, well, you're a. No, I just love women. I love my mother. I love my aunts. I love my sisters. I love my wife. And I love women. I think I think they're here. They have to do their job and we do our job. Now that might sound when the people hear, they go, "Well, what's our job?" They think right away I'm being sexist. No, I'm not. I like a confident woman. To me, confidence in a woman is a turn on. I like a woman that knows what she wants, a woman that has a great high powered job and is great. That is, wow, that's a turn on. But I also like a woman who relies on me too. You know what I'm saying? So I think to be a gentleman, I think you have to be kind and considerate of that person, whether it's a man or a woman. You know, uh, and that's why I really didn't like this. They get triggered now. The new trigger is if you call a girl honey or sweetheart, or I don't mean anything by it. From my time, we used to do that, sweetie, honey. We don't mean anything by it. That's what we did back then. If I say it, does that mean I'm demeaning you? I told you the story. I was on a plane, and we're in first class, and the woman had her bags up there, and I could see she was pulling it, and it was kind of stuck in the thing, and I just went, "Oh, I got it for you," and she just kind of looked at me, and I said, "No, I'll get it." I moved the hand, and I grabbed it, and I went, boom, and I pushed it out, and here you go. She went, "Thank you," like what the fuck? I I I. I I didn't mean to be, I thought I would help you. She looked at me like, I said something like, "Here you go, here you go, sweetheart," something like that. She goes, I think I said sweetie or sweetheart. She said, "I'm not your sweetie." And I could have done it. I mean, and there were people all around. And she said it pretty loud. And I didn't say a word. I said, "Well, okay, I'm sorry." I took a back seat. And some people looked at me like, "You fucking believe what she just did?" I didn't have to say anything because she made herself look foolish. And if you're out there right now, you looked foolish. Let me tell you something. We talked about you after you left. Okay. What's next?
Well, we got a couple of these. They're very similar. This one reads, how toxic social media is and how expensive everything is getting.
Wow. Well, social media, I always said this is a blessing and a curse. And you know how I feel about social media. It's toxic. It's people who were assholes in real life now just became famous bigger assholes because now everybody could see what they do. People who would never would give it, nobody would ever give a shit about them. Now they think they have a voice. They want to comment on restaurants that they hate, comment on books that they read, comment on actors that they've seen. You know what? And you know what I say about that? Go ahead. It's America. This is America. We can do whatever we want. Somebody don't like me. Somebody hates me. Fine. Who gives a shit? I said this before. You know what I say to these people, John? Very simple. Look at my life. Look at yours. Look at it. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Say whatever you want. I know who I am. I'm happy in my own movie. I have the love of my close friends and my family. I have the love of my work. I don't care. And if you start caring about what social media says about you, wow, how childish is that? How insignificant you have to make it. Because you know why, folks? People will always let you down. Always. You think everybody in the world is going to like you? Not a chance. They didn't like Jesus. They crucified him. And he was only 33. And he was the Son of God. And they crucified him. So if they can do that to Jesus, they can sure say bad things about us. And that's how I feel about that. Not putting my beliefs on anybody. I'm a Catholic, but it's like, come on. Do unto others as you would have them undo to you. So it's, social media is a blessing and it's a curse.
That was a great take on that. I've never thought of it that way. I like that. Okay, next one we got, it says, what should I do if my girlfriend wants a break from the relationship?
Let it go. If your girlfriend wants a break from the relationship, let it go. In fact, you have to let it go because the more you try to keep her, the more she'll try to run. If you think you could keep her by buying her gifts or telling her how much you love her, forget it. Forget it. And I tell this to people all the time. If your girlfriend wants a break from the relationship, that's good news. Now, people are looking at me like, what? It's good news. Even if your heart is broken, it's good news because she's going to end up breaking it anyway. It's going to happen. So you might as well pull the Band-Aid off right away, right now, and see what happens. Because only two things could happen when you break up with somebody, and they're both good. They're both good. One, that person will realize they made a mistake and come back to you and that they love you and you realize that you love them. Or two, they won't come back to you. And that means it was never going to work. Or you realize, you know what, I could live without her. So they're both good things. So relax. And sometimes, you can't live without her, but she wants out. You got to let her go. You got to let her go. Because the only way to really love somebody, is a great song by Sting, is you have to set them free. If you really want to love somebody, set them free. By strangling them and wanting to know where they are and being jealous, that is toxic and that does nothing. Nothing. You can never keep a woman that doesn't want to be there. Or keep a man that doesn't want to be there. I mean, and you know what? You have to look at yourself like, hey, I'm a good person. I'm a loving, good person. And if you don't want me, that's your problem. But I deserve a number one guy, or I deserve a number one girl. If you don't think I'm worth it, move on. She's not happy with you? Take a hike. Go. That's it. You have to love yourself first. But to be there and to be stepped on and used and laughed at, because they do that. Believe me, people, women and men, they go, oh, she's calling me again. Oh my God, what does she want? She knows I don't want to see her no more. You know what? No, that's it. You know what you got to do when somebody breaks up with you? You got to get angry a little bit. You got to get angry. You got to get mad. Say, go do your life. Because then that person will realize one thing. You're not a chump. You're not someone who he could step on anymore. And you know what? That becomes very attractive to a man. You'll see how fast that could turn around. And if it doesn't, it was meant to be. It wasn't there. Really.
What do you think about people who seem to not like their wives? Like they talk about their wives and like, oh, don't get married.
I think that's just something that men do. Look, everybody goes, it's just a thing men do, They go, hey, marriage, Well, marriage is hard. Marriage is not easy, John. It's hard work. When I say it's hard work, sometimes you feel like having no responsibilities. Sometimes your friends are going out to a baseball game and you promise your wife you take her shopping and you're like, oh, shit. Oh, man. The guys are going, they're laughing, they're hopping in a car, and you want to go. They're going to the football game, and you promised your wife you're going to go see your aunt. That's hard. But you know what? If you love her and she loves you, and maybe sometimes you could say, honey, I know I promised you this, but the guys are going there. Would it be all right this one time? You could, and she says, you know what? You always come to see my aunt. Go ahead, go with the guys. You got to give and take. You got to be a little reasonable with her. She wants to hang out with her girlfriends and go to dinner with just her and the girls. That's okay. What, are you all nervous that guys are going to flirt with her? It's good for her. Let her go there. Let her feel attractive. Let a guy flirt with her. So what? You're married to her. You got 2 kids with her. If she leaves just over that, my friend, it was not going to be there for long anyway. Set them free. If you want to love somebody, folks, set them free. I'd like to hear the comments about all this, especially this one here about setting them free. I think that's, I think we covered a lot of those questions that we got. I mean, that was a fun episode, John.
I like it. We got to do it again.
We got to do that one again. If you got any questions, just come on and just send them, and I'll talk about it. I like this day where we just answer questions from the people. I never say your names because I want you to have privacy. But don't forget, I'll be here next Monday at 11 o'clock. My restaurants, I love my restaurants, Chazz Palminteri, 30 West 46th Street, 264 Main Street. Chazz Palminteri, the film of the one-man show, will be out soon. You can get it. God bless. See you next week.